I think that the church, well, what it taught me is that the church never taught the congregation the art of meditation and a personal walk. Is that we only put all of our energy in corporate worship. You'll notice that the Jewish synagogue never rushed to reopen. The mosque never rushed to reopen. It was the church that was rushing because we never learned how to make our home a sanctuary. And so that we had to really recalibrate how it is that we encounter God and what is our relationship to him away from the masses.
So with that being said, Pastor, you said something very relevant, the power of meditation. Can you speak a little bit more to that? Because I don't think a lot of people understand the power of meditation. And I would argue some don't even know really what the real meditation is.
Right. Our church, especially in the neo-Pentecostal tradition, is built around call and response. It is around interaction, and the authenticity is connected to energy. And so in the Black church, we never have a time of solitude. We never have a moment of introspection. The choir got to be jumping. Whoever is leading in worship invariably is going to say, y'all can do better than that. Come on, let's do it for 5 more minutes. We think that if we're quiet, then it's dead space. And we are very poor conversationalists because we know how to talk to God, but we don't know how to listen. So those who were stressed the most were those who had relationship because they didn't know how to tap into God without the theater and the drama of church. But how do we find them within the solitude of our own home?
Pastor, come on, let's talk about a little bit about faith in sports before we get into this game. Do you think with everything, we know that the next generation of youth, everybody's inspired who's an athlete. They're looking at all the new, the up and coming NBA players and just athletes right now and wanting to be them. But do you think because of the salaries, do you think that's taken the passion away from people just wanting to be athletes and aspire to be something different compared to everybody aspiring to have the biggest contract or, these super teams and everything that's going on with that?
Well, the question, DJ, we got to ask is, how fervent will our worship be if we take away capitalism? The last 2 weeks, you have heard more from preachers about Creflo Dollar's remarks about tithing than we have heard preachers say anything about Roe versus Wade, about gun control, about Uval, about Buffalo, about the Ukraine, about the economy, about predatory lending. But you mess with that tithe, everybody got something to say. And so I think that what it is that you're seeing about young people in sports is what a lot of our churches react about harvest, is that the church only prepares us for the harvest, but never for the drought. Joseph promised, yes, it's going to be 7 years of prosperity, but it's going to be 7 years of a drought. What you going to do when the average car note now will be over $700? What you going to do when the average home has about 10%? We've not given the necessary tools for the body of Christ for how it is that they ought to function in an economic downturn. And so as a consequence, we treat tithing like the lottery, that if you give this 10%, you're going to win. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. But we don't put into place, if you suffer with him, then you'll reign with him. And so I think that we can't go too heavy on inner city athleticism if we don't deal with suburban prosperity gospel.
That's good. That's good. Listen, I definitely want to hear your response. I've heard it, but some of the listeners might not right now, may have never heard it. Talk about your response, a Christian's response as a pastor to the Roe versus Wade overtaking.
Christianity is pro-choice. Jesus said, I stand at the door and knock. If you let me in, then I'll come in and sup. Jesus is never found guilty of breaking an entry. It is amazing that evangelicals only want to legislate righteousness on one level. So if you're pro-life, as evangelicals say that they are, why do they not feel the same way about the death penalty? If they're pro-life, Why don't they say anything about gun control? If they're pro-life, how come they've not made any statement about aggressive policing? If they're pro-life, why is it that they're letting Cubans in the country but turn away the Haitians to die in the Atlantic Ocean? So if we're pro-life, let's be consistent around the border, and let's be clear that this is a democratic nation. I am for the safeguarding of all of our children, but I do not feel as if we can pick and choose what are the righteous principles that we're going to stand behind.
That's good. You just said something too as well. I want you just to unpack, and I promise you won't get to the sports.
No, take your time.
No, because you dropping some gems today. Why is it that us as believers, there's always, every time election time comes around, you talk about politics and believers. Why is it that I thought we were believers first? If we're followers of Jesus Christ first, that should be the main focus. But every time election time comes around, like you said, it's either left or right. And if you're on the left and you're on the right, we at each other's throats like we're not believers. Why is that?
Because Black people in this country, Focus, has put all of our energy on personalities and not on principles. The evangelicals showed us something in the last election cycle. They said, we ride with Trump because he's against abortion and he's against same-sex marriage. So we don't care if he hold the Bible upside down. We don't care if his personal life is against women. He's holding on to our issues. What do Black people say? Was he a good speaker? Did they come by our local church? Is he energetic? Is he charismatic? Because we are not focused on any issue. The Bible gave our people die from a lack of knowledge. Focus, I've never been to church with you a day in my life. But what I am going to say is 9 times out of 10, when you've been to church in election season, they are not unpacking any issues. It is just on the person. Let's support Brother Smith because Brother Smith grew up in this community. Let's support Sister Johnson because Sister Johnson is a Delta, is in the lane, went to TSU. That's our girl. But we're not asking any of the relevant questions. Where do they stand on the issues? And we have to mature to the place that we're able to hold people accountable. Jeremiah Wright said, everybody who's our color is not our kind. So going into 2024, what are the issues that we're asking? And if we're not asking, how are we not holding people accountable?
That's good. That's good. And listen, you actually, you've been in a couple services with me. You just didn't know me. I'm actually up under Dr. R.A. Vernon right here in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, that's my guy.
I'm a member of the Word Church, a deacon actually of the Word Church. So listen, I've been hearing you preach for a long time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Yes. All right, let's talk about it. Let's get to this smokes. All right. Listen, we got this celebrity basketball game going down today. And when I tell you it's been trash talk, and I say, listen, are you going to lay hands on your players first, or are you just going to go out there and let them ball?
No. Well, the reality is the other team already has a soundtrack for after the game is over. And that song that's going to play at the game is over in their locker room is We Never Made It. They're stronger now. They're wise.
The song this is going to do it real good, too.
Oh, yeah, no. They're not going. Listen, Bishop Sapp spent all his time making a movie. So let's just all go to the Marvel Sapp store, keep on. It's going to be great. But let's not. You can't put the bishop on the sidelines as the coach. Let's not do that. That's why you laughing.
Because listen.
Oh my goodness. I want to be there. I'm not going to be able to make it, and I need Focus to just stream it because everybody has been hyping this up and talking much junk about you, Pastor. And I'm going to be honest with you. I know that y'all are the winning team, and I just want to throw that out there right now.
Let me say on record, Dice, you are a prophet. Listen, you are a prophet of the Most High God. God is with you. Because if you didn't see that, I'm believing that the Shekinah just hovers over your life. It's going to happen. Absolutely. If thou be a woman of God, this is going to happen on Thursday night. I promise you. Tonight, all bets are off. I'll just say this. The other team, I'll just say this. Just line the two teams up. Line the two teams up. And you're going to say one team does no cardio. One team does Uber Eats.
Oh, wow.
One team is couch potatoes. But there's another team.
All right.
If you just line the two teams, if this was a football match, then that other team might be able to make it. But we're talking about a team where the majority of what is done is predicated on running. And that team can't do that.
Well, you got to breathe. You got to be able to breathe.
They got to breathe. That team is going to be looking for asthma pumps.
So is that your game plan? Are you looking to run your team out the gate, fast tempo?
We're just going to run them. I'm telling you, it's going to be a short game. For those of you who bought tickets, I want to apologize in advance. This is like a Mike Tyson fight. It's only going to go one round. Listen, in between, we may bring out Isaac Carey to sing a song. We may bring Jamie Fortune out to sing something. But after the first quarter, it's going to be clear. This is a waste of people's time. But I'm glad y'all, really, this is about fellowship.
Oh,
so
wow.
we come here just together and say we're going to be outside. But after the first quarter, it's going to be clear.